Hi, my name is Catherine Thompson and I'm on the membership committee of the Waterloo Potters Workshop, which is where we are at Waterloo Park. It's an EB farmhouse and it's a very old building. It's probably a heritage building actually. And this is where we are going to introduce you to our studio, our membership, our responsibilities, our jobs here, and we hope that you will love it. Okay, we do have a door code, and it's by number. It changes every year, but right now I'll let us in, but you will get the door code upon admission to the membership. Okay, here we go. Okay, come on in. So we've come inside the first room of the workshop. This room has equipment. Okay, so it has 4 major pieces of equipment. It's called the Slab Room. We have a slab roller, quite old. It was bought in 1977. We take very good care of it. We have a spray booth over here. We have a extruder behind the camera there. And on the wall here are the extruder bits. So the extruder makes different shapes of clay. And then on the other side there is a grinder, so that if there's pieces of glass that have dripped or glaze that have dripped, then you're grinding those off. And so this room is very well used. To use this equipment, you need to be orientated. And so Gary Musso is one of our members, and he actually does the orientation. If you want to use it, you have to call him. It's on the directory. His name is on the directory. Okay, so now we've come into the kitchen. This is the only room that you can eat in the building. It has a microwave, a small refrigerator. It's well equipped with cutlery and dishes and mugs and tea and teapots. And everybody is responsible for cleaning that up, of course. In here, as you can see, is a wedging table. So it's for white and gray clay only. We do have a wedging table for red clay only. But we will see that as we go through. And so this is a collaborative room. This is where everybody really gets to know each other, and we chat and ask a lot of questions, and it's a social area. Okay, so one of the important things of the kitchen is this drawer right here, the cleaner drawer. So the cleaning convener will be meeting with all of the new members and going through these little booklets. Basically, they're divided into 4 groups. You will be coming in for a minimum of 2 hours per month for cleaning, and your name will be in one of these logs, and of course it's negotiable with the convener as to when you come in, but it has all the duties and where different areas are for cleaning. And so you'll find it in your book. You come in for your 2 hours, put your time in. Usually members don't just come in to clean, they come in and they do some clay work as well. So it makes it convenient. So this is our wheel room, and we have 8 wheels in here, so you're all members are welcome to come in here, work independently. And we have, to dry your pieces, we have some windowsills, and we also have shelves over here behind, and behind the camera as well. And so for drying for a couple of days in here, which is great. We do have another room downstairs if you want to dry a little bit slower, and it's the damp room, but we'll cover that. This room also is a room where we hold classes. So we will have member classes in here, and we will also have some classes for the community, and the occasional children's class in here as well. Okay, so here we are in the sink room. So we have double sinks, and this is where we clean up after our clay. And after we do any work at all in the workshop, except in the kitchen, because that is a sink. There's one more sink up in the bathroom. But this is where we do our cleanup. Now, because it's sort of an antiquated system, we have a clay trap underneath, but we can't really clog it up with clay and slip. So basically we have to clean up our clay and slip separately. We put it into bags or a bucket, take it home, put it in your cubby, put it out in nature, but really we can't have it kept here. We don't reclaim clay here as well. So also our cleaning supplies are all here. We have the top shelf is all cleaning supplies, and we have plastic buckets and plastic dishes here for your water for when you're using your clay. We have mops and buckets back here, plus we have central vac. and we only clean with damp mopping and central vac here because of the dust. Here is another white clay table. So we have the one in the kitchen and one here. In the next room next door to here, we have a red clay table. And back here we have plastic molds that you can use to dry your clay out and take home, of course. We also have slump molds in here so that you can lay your clay across. And we have wear boards underneath here, and we have bats underneath here for your use as well, so that you're going to dry your pieces on a bat and leave them on a shelf or take them down into the damp room. Easier to transport your pieces when they're wet. And that's about it. So here we are in the glaze room, okay? So we have the glaze, a lot of work is done here in the glaze room. We can glaze in here, and we can do hand building in here. And underneath the tables are the glazes, the house glazes. Underneath this table right here are 6 house glazes. The far end of the room has house glazes for cone 10. These house glazes at this end are cone 6. To apply glaze here at this workshop, you need to watch June McDonald's video on how to apply glaze, okay? And if you're going to mix any glazes, you do have to take Jim Featherstone's course on mixing glazes, or if you already know how, that's fine. But we have a list here, double-sided, which is over on the far wall, of all the materials. So if you need to find a material, you're going to go down this list, you're going to go across and find the bin. So behind here are bins, large bins of large bags of materials. Up on the wall we have smaller containers of the smaller amounts of materials. And also the prices. So if you're going to go and purchase glazes and make glazes, it's all done and paid for online. So you will be orientated to that at some point as well. All right, so downstairs now here, we've come down to the basement. There's 4 rooms down here. So there's the kiln room, the damp room, the furnace room, and the cubby room. Right now we're in the kiln room. So we have 4 kilns, one of which is manual, 3 of which are electric and computerized. Until our apprenticeship program is redeveloped, you are not going to be apprenticing or learning to fire a kiln yet. But you know, in the meantime, you can get pieces fired either with a bisque or a glaze. And over here we have a Please Fire Me shelf for a glaze and a bisque. So you put your pieces on there. The next person who's firing can look at that shelf, load some of your pieces in their kiln if there's room, and when they're done, they put it into the room just in front of the shelf just in front of the damp room. Also, we have a community kiln Please Fire Me shelf, so that we have a community kiln for a bisque and a glaze once a month. Okay, so here we have the cubby room. You see it's this long corridor down here. These are all handmade little cupboards for our members to store their bits of clay, their glazes, their brushes, their materials that they're using. And you know, they're small, but also we don't have that many. And what new members have to do, they probably have to share one or share it between 1 or 2 people until one comes available. When you see an empty space, you put your name on it. That's basically how it works. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, in this little entranceway to the damp room, there's a shelf here, and when the finished pieces are pulled out of the kiln, the person who's firing will put the finished pieces over here, both bisque and glazed. And fired pots from Please Fire Me shelves are up above and below here, and that is where you'll find your pots. Plus maybe a little note from the person who's just fired for you. Behind me is the damp room. Come on in. So, as you can see, it's damp and dark and cool. But you know what? This is where the pots will dry much slower than actually on a shelf in the building. So you can keep things down here for a week or so. We don't encourage you to keep them here too long. And anyway, looks like there's lots of room right now. Alrighty, here we are in the library. As you can see, we have a really great selection of books that are all available to sign out. Our librarian is Het Hilsden. If you need a book or want a book or a journal, you need to get in touch with her. Now, some of the staffers will have will be able to access books, the key for you to access the books and journals, but not all of them do. So it's best to get hold of Het to ask her, and her name is and contact is in the directory. The staffers are great as far as accessing information, tapping into their expertise. They're staffers because they're experienced potters. They're staffers regularly here, and the way to find that is on the website. And just, you know, as a new member, it's great if you come in, introduce yourself to other members, make yourself known, find out when the staffers are going to be on, come in when a staffer is here to pick their brain and to let them help you if you need any help navigating the workshop. We do have two other opportunities that, obligations rather, for working here at the workshop. So we have 2 sales a year. If you are in the sale, you have to work 2 4-hour shifts at the sale. That's an obligatory responsibility. And if you don't have anything to sell, you do need to work 1 4-hour shift. As well, we have Celebrate Summer, which is in June, which sells our secondhand pots, and our spring cleanup is. We also have that. So you can pick spring cleaning or Celebrate Summer, and you have to put 3 or 4 hours into at least one of them per year. So on top of the 24 hours of cleaning per year, you have that obligation as well and responsibility. So thank you very much for joining me on this orientation of the Waterloo Potters Workshop. I hope to see you around the workshop, actually. But I want you to think about this analogy that I've sort of thought up. It's a lot like a kitchen at home here, only there are 100 cooks all hours of the day and night using different recipes. So it makes sense that we have to keep it orderly, clean, and safe for all of us. Thank you.